Hello again, and welcome to this video on the making a flute, traditional Irish flute in Fusion 360. And in this session we're going to pick up where we left off, and on your video screen is a picture of more or less where we left off. We have the head joint timber with two cylindrical bores in it and two ornamented silver or gold rings depending on your taste. So what we're going to do now though is we're going to move on and put some of the other parts actually into the head joint. The first one we're going to have a look at is the cork. You can see the cork in there in the body of the head joint inside in that cylinder. We're going to put in the nickel silver slider, and we're going to put in an ornamental plug at the top, and that's what we're going to end up with. In this video, however, we're only going to do the cork. So what we need to do is we need to open the data panel, and you'll go to where you have your class model, whatever version. I'm showing version 9. We fire that up and then we hide the data panel. So we're just looking at this version where we have the head joint and the silver rings. I'll just show the silver rings, well, they're in this case the gold rings. Okay, so what we need to do is create a new component called the head joint cork, and we go to assemble, new component, put in the name head joint cork and hit OK. Now you'll see that the new component is highlighted and has been activated. I'll just activate the head joint timber first and point out to you something we haven't shown you before, which is this set of things down here, bottom left corner. This is the history. These are all the things I've done with the head joint timber, and by revisiting any one of these steps, there's an extrusion, sketch 5, extrude 4, sketch 4. We can change the parameters or the measurements of what we actually did. I'll just take a look at sketch 4. We'll hit edit sketch. You can see we have an internal bore of diameter 19 mil. Finish the sketch. Okay, so that's important, the history. Now when we activate the cork, you can see we have a blank history. We have nothing in it. So just keep an eye down here and you'll see the story, the evolution of the cork actually growing down here. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to hide these other bits. And, oh yeah, I want to make a point here. I'm going to actually build the cork in situ, in its final place. Hopefully the final place would be correct. The reason I'm doing that is because once it's in there, it's never going to move. Just like the silver rings here or the golden rings, they're reinforcing rings. They're not going to slide up and down or rotate or move over and back with respect to the rest of the head joint. The head joint is going to be a single piece and it's all going to be fixed together. So that's why I'm building it in place. In other situations, we'll build the thing separately and then we'll join the two components or the two items together later on. Okay, let's get started with the cork. So the first thing I want to do is get into the origin of the cork, and we'll pick the YZ plane. You can see the way it pops up. And I need a construction plane, which is going to be offset from the YZ. And you can bring it out manually, or you can enter the numbers where the white text is highlighted in blue, and I'm going to go with, I think it's 33. millimeters. Enter. So now we have a construction plane. We'll select that construction plane, and on it we will create a circle, or a sketch rather, containing a circle. So we pick up the circle tool, center diameter, carefully place the cursor on the origin, and we want this to be 19. That's the internal diameter of the head joint, and we want the cork to plug the head joint. Finish the sketch. So we have a sketch now of a circle, and we want to extrude it. Now I picked the position of the construction plane very carefully to set it at the cork end, the appropriate distance from the embouchure. Now, depending on the shape and position of the embouchure, you might have to move that plane up or down. Okay, but we're going to make the cork -15 in length. Now, we used minus because we want the other end of the cork to move away from the embouchure. The construction plane locks the face of the active face of the cork in its final position. So there we have the cork built. Now it doesn't look like a very nice cork, so we will modify it with the physical material. Up it comes. Now the closest I could find to cork in the Autodesk Fusion 360 library materials is in fabric, and I found leather weathered. So just drop that on it, and it looks alright. Not perfect, but not too bad. So there we have our cork. But what does it look like? Let's put the head joint timber back up. We see it nicely in place. So at this point we leave this video we lead it to a conclusion, and we'll pick up on the nickel silver tube in the next one. Okay, thank you.